gbógun ti lílò àti àṣìlò ògùn olóró.
The agencies that deals with drug addicted and how you misuse them.
Àwa ni ìjọba fún ní agbára láti mú àwọn tó ń lo ògùn olóró.
We are the one government that's given the power to at least arrest those.
Àti láti jail wọn.
Those that are using hard drugs to sentence them and to jail them.
I will try to code switch because of the mixed audience.
Màá gbìyànjú láti sọ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì àti Yorùbá nítorí àwọn ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn tó wà níbí.
Now, the work of Ndlea broadly is categorized into two.
Iṣẹ́ àwọn tó ń dí pẹ̀lú ògùn olóró ọ̀nà méjì ló pín sí.
We have what we call drug supply reduction.
A ní àwọn tó yẹ pé ògùn olóró yìí ó wà síta.
Drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction.
Okay.
Drug supply reduction means the arm of the agency that is after the arrest and prosecution of those that are using drugs, selling drugs, or cultivating it. Okay. And then drug demand reduction is the arm of the agency that seeks to educate the public, rehabilitate drug users, and treat those who are already drug dependent. Now, what we have come here to do today
is
the drug demand reduction aspect of our work.
Public
enlightenment. Now, when we say drug, broadly speaking, drug is anything aside water.
Ogun
generally.
Ogun.
Ó túmọ̀ sí nǹkan tí a bá lè lò. Ta lè lò sí àgọ́ ara wa tó lè alter behaviour wa either physically, psychologically or behaviorally.
Drug is what we can use that can affect the way we behave.
Now, when we are talking about drug, paracetamol, diclofenac, Busca, all those ones too, they are drugs.
If you are talking about drugs, we talk about all the drugs he has mentioned.
Those ones are called the legal drugs.
Government is oversee.
God bless you, my brother.
You are welcome, sir.
These
are the one government has approved that we can use.
We also have what we call the illegal drugs.
And
what we have come here to do today is to talk to you on the two different categories.
Now,
because of the definition, drug is anything at all that you take into your body that alters your behavior, either physically or psychologically. It means anything you take that can increase the rates of your the functioning of your central nervous system or slow it down is drug.
Ògùn jẹ́ ohun tí à ń lò eléyìí tó máa ń yí ìwà ènìyàn padà bóyá ó mú yá kọ́mọ́kọ́mọ́ ni àbótú dá padà sẹ́yìn tẹ́lu ẹ̀ wá ń fà bí ìgbín.
Now there are many things that we are used to, that we are familiar with, that we don't consider to be drug, which are drugs.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ni àti níṣe pẹ̀lú tẹ́ bí àkàsí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ògùn.
So mo fẹ́ kí káàdì yẹn mú. Another thing we like to talk about is drug misuse.
Bá a ṣe ń ṣi ògùn lò, a tún fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa eléyìí náà.
Drug misuse comes when we are talking about the overusage of drug or underusage of drug.
Nígbà tá a bá ṣi ògùn lò ó ní pé bóyá a lò jù àbí a lò bó ti yẹ ká lò ó.
And I'll give instances.
Màá fún wa ní àpẹẹrẹ.
Most of us.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nínú wa.
When we have headache.
Nígbà tá a bá ní orí fífọ́.
Which drug will a doctor prescribe?
Ògùn wo ni doctor máa sọ pé ká lò?
Paracetamol, thank you.
Paracetamol.
Bóyá doctor ní torí orí tó ń fọ yín ẹ lò méjì láàárọ̀.
Maybe you have to use 2 in the morning.
Méjì lọ́sàn-án, méjì lálẹ́.
2 noon and night.
Bóyá but let me use our generation. Bóyá torí guy yẹn bóyá ó ní match tó fẹ́ play lálẹ́.
Maybe because the guy have a match to play at night.
Quote and unquote. Ó fẹ́ kí orí fọ́ ètè lọ.
And they want the edit to go fast.
Ó máa lo mẹ́rin láàárọ̀.
You can use 4 in the morning.
6 lọ́sàn-án.
6 in the noon.
Tó bá dalẹ́ ńkọ́?
At night 8 or 10.
A lo 8.
Yes.
Now that is what we call overusage.
Eléyìí sọ pé èèyàn ṣi ògùn lò ní ọ̀nà tí ò tọ́.
Ọ̀nà tí ò tọ́. Or ẹni tó ní body pain.
Tàbí ẹni tí ó ní ìrora ní ara.
Tán prescribe fún pé lo ògùn eléyìí.
Tán sọ pé kó wá lo ògùn you have to use this
drug.
drug.
Ó fẹ́ kí ara tó ń ro ó fẹ́ kó tètè lọ.
But because you want the pain to go quickly.
Ó kàn lo bí mẹ́rin lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà.
And you now use 4 tablets at a time.
That is misuse.
Ìyẹn lè fi hàn pé o ti ṣì lò pẹ̀lú.
Ó ní consequences.
Ó ní ohun tí ó máa níṣe pẹ̀lú ara.
Tí máa débẹ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa.
When we get there, we'll talk about that.
Now we also talk about drug The misuse, we also talked about under usage of drug.
A tún máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bí a ti lò bó ti tọ́
Ìyẹn
sẹ́yìn.
ìgbà tí mo wà ní secondary school gbà yẹn, mo máa ń ṣe yẹn dáadáa.
He said when he was in
And I know
secondary
there
school,
will
he
be
do
many
that a
people
lot.
here who will also be in that category.
And many of us here too will be in that.
When I was much younger,
Wọ́n nígbà táwọn kéré,
I did not like taking drugs.
wọ́n láwọn ò like oògùn rárá.
Mo hate oògùn.
He doesn't like drugs.
Mo prefer kan inject mi ju kan
Wọ́n
take
láwọn
oògùn.
fẹ́ràn abẹ́rẹ́ ju oògùn lọ.
So that time when if I fall sick and my mom takes me to the hospital and the drugs are prescribed, tí màá ti délé, tí màá bá ti ní ìfẹ́ Olúwa gbà kó lo mọ́ṣẹ́ ní kó lo, tí màá ti gbé omi sọ́wọ́ tún, oògùn yẹn sọ́wọ́ tí màá ti ojú màá mi máa ti gbé màá dà sẹ́yìn.
Táwọn bá ti délé, bàtà àwọn kéré, táwọn bá ti fáwọn olóògùn, táwọn bá ti délé, oògùn yẹn àwọn máa dànù, àwọn kan lómi lásán ni.
Àárọ̀ màá dànù.
Láàárọ̀, the same.
Ọ̀sán, but alẹ́ màmá máa dúró tì mí.
But at night, Mama will stand with him.
Ẹjọ́ àmì ló máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
How many of us do that?
Thank you. I'm seeing hands. Most people do it one way or the other.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀nù wa la máa ń ṣe eléyìí.
That is what we call drug misuse, under usage of drug.
Eléyìí fi hàn pé oògùn yẹn á lò gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ pé ká lò.
That also has negative consequences.
Eléyìí náà ní ọ̀nà tí ò dáa tó fi ṣiṣẹ́ lára.
And now we come to drug abuse.
Àwa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bá a ṣe ń ṣi oògùn lò.
When we talk about drug abuse, we are talking about 3 categories.
Ìpele mẹ́ta nìyẹn wá kú sí.
When you use a drug when it is not medically necessary.
Nígbà tó bá lo oògùn nígbà tí wọn kọ́ fún ẹ ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí dókítà pé ò ń ṣàìsàn.
Or for non-medical purposes.
Ọ̀ tí ò ń ṣe fún ìlera àìlera.
You are abusing drug.
O ti ń ṣi oògùn lò.
Number 2,
Ìkejì.
when you are using a drug that is not prescribed by any doctor.
Tó bá ń lo oògùn tí dókítà kankan ò kọ fún ẹ pé kó o lò.
Without doctor prescription.
Láìsí pé wọ́n kọ fún ẹ pé kó o lò ó.
You are abusing drug.
Ẹ ti ń ṣì lò pẹ̀lú.
And thirdly, when you use the illegal drugs.
Ìkẹta tẹ bá ti lo oògùn tí ìjọba ò fọwọ́ sí.
Thank you. Oògùn tí ìjọba ò fọwọ́ sí, that is drug abuse.
It is an abuse too.
Now, we have different categories of things.
A ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan.
Drugs that people use.
Tó jẹ́ oògùn tí ènìyàn ń lò.
So I want you to assist me. I want you to mention as many as possible the one that you know.
Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi dárúkọ àwọn ètí ẹ
The
mọ̀.
illegal one. Number 1, tramadol. Number 2, codeine. Number 3, colo, oncolos. Thank you. Shisha, cocaine. Banku. Thank you so much. Now,
Ẹ ṣé.
those are examples of the illegal drugs.
Àwọn eléyìí ni àpẹẹrẹ oògùn tí ìjọba ò fọwọ́ sí.
Now, we have what we call the non-conventional substances.
A sì láwọn tó jẹ́ pé eléyìí tó jẹ́ pé kò yẹ ká máa lò.
Now, I want our mommy and our daddy to pay attention to
Mo fẹ́
this.
kí àwọn mọ́mí wa àti dáàdì wa kí wọ́n fọkàn sí eléyìí.
Because it is hard for some people to get access to these illegal ones, the popular ones.
Because ó nira káwọn èèyàn kò tó lè rí eléyìí tí ìjọba ò fọwọ́ sí
They
yẹn.
improvise.
But wọ́n máa ń wá ọ̀nà àbáyọ mìíràn.
They use what we call non-conventional substance. Example,
Àpẹẹrẹ.
ẹni tí ò bá lè rí owó tó, ẹni tí ò bá rí ibi tó ti máa ra cocaine.
If you don't get to where you buy cocaine
Àbí heroin.
or heroin,
Àwọn tó bá ní ṣáláńgá.
those that have latrine,
Pit lab, God bless you. Tó bá àárọ̀, wọ́n máa ṣí ṣáláńgá.
in the morning they will open their latrine.
Wọ́n á gbé mú sí ṣáláńgá, wọ́n á fà. Yes.
They will snuff from the hole of the latrine.
Thank you so much. Number 2, another example.
Àpẹẹrẹ mìíràn.
Tá máa ń pè ní non-conventional substances. Yes, I'm happy with the feedback. I'm happy it's
Wọ́n inú àwọn dùn pẹ̀lú bá ṣe ń kùn yẹn.
the mere thought of it irritates you. I'm
Pé bẹ́ẹ̀
happy.
ṣe sọ yẹn pé
Tí gbọ́n kankan.
you have not heard anything.
Mo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ́ ẹ bọ̀ lápò ni.
We are just starting.
Another thing tó máa abuse.
Another thing,
Menstrual pad.
àwẹ̀ eléyìí tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe nǹkan oṣù. Òwú àbí aṣọ àbí whatever tá à ń lò.
Àti arrest wọn, we are not telling.
Ọ̀rù wọn bẹ́ẹ̀.
Wọ́n máa lọ sí ibi tó máa dalẹ̀ sí. Wọ́n á
They
lọ
will
ṣá.
go to a dunghill.
Wọ́n á lọ ṣá àwọn ilé tí wọ́n ti lò.
They will pick the used pads.
Wọ́n máa ṣá.
They will-
Ó bá ti gbẹ.
They will spread it once it is
Wọ́n
dry
á
off,
finá sí, wọ́n á dẹ̀ máa.
and they will light it and they will start snuffing the smoke.
The same way they use Pampers.
Same the pampers that our babies use.
Another thing tó máa ń lò, they use gégémù.
They use gegemu too.
Àmọ́ gegemu.
We know gegemu.
Thank you. Okay, àwọn kan láwọn ọmọ gegemu.
Some say they don't know gegemu.
They call it sakami plant. Wọ́n máa ń lo ewé ìbẹ́pẹ.
Ìbẹ́pẹ, palm, purple leaf. Thank you.
Another thing tó máa ń lò tó máa fi improvise. Only now, because we have the younger ones among us, I will not want to educate them in the wrong direction. Wọ́n máa ń mix maggi àti àwọn nǹkan kan àtàwọn nǹkan kan.
They mix maggi and some substances.
Wọ́n máa ń mix gàrí àti àwọn nǹkan kan àtàwọn nǹkan kan.
They mix gàrí too with some substances.
Now, I can go on and on.
Wọ́n láwọn lè máa sọ lọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Eléyìí tí a rí recently l'office tó shock everybody.
The one they experienced recently that shocked everyone
is we found out that
wọ́n rí wípé
they use condom.
Pé wọ́n tún lo rọ́bà ìdáàbòbò.
The same way wọ́n ṣe máa ń lo pampers, wọ́n ṣe máa ń lo menstrual pad.
That the same way they use the diapers and the pad for menstrual pain.
Wọ́n máa gather condom, ẹ̀dá eléyìí tán ti lò àbí eléyìí tí wọ́n lò.
They will also gather the rọ́bà ìdáàbòbò.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa fà á.
They will burn it also and they will snuff the smoke also.
Now, those ones, if Ndlea see you with any of these things, we cannot arrest you.
If the agency should see you,
is it possible for me to see my sister with menstrual pad and arrest her?
It's
not possible if I see our mommies with Maggie and we arrest her. That is why it is so dangerous. Because you will be destroying yourself and there's nothing government can do about it. Now, another category of drug, another thing I want us to mention is we have what we call socially acceptable drug. God will bless you. Eléyìí tí àyíká wa gbà láyè láti lò, but which are detrimental to our health. Example is alcohol. Timari, this handsome brother with.
When I see this, my brother,
Star Lager beer,
we can't arrest him. With anything, you can't arrest him.
It is socially acceptable.
There is no law that binds that we should not drink them.
Health-wise, only implication.
Is not that
Another
good.
example of what we call socially acceptable drug is OB. Kola nut. OB is another example of socially acceptable drug.
Because
the core, should I use chemical inside it that makes people go for it is nicotine.
Ohun tó wà nínú rẹ̀
It is the same thing you find in cigarette.
Bákan náà, ohun tó wà nínú rẹ̀ inú àmàrí nínú
So ẹni tó jẹ OB àti ẹni tó mu sìgá.
The person that takes smokes and cola nut, they are taking the same thing.
Ẹni tó mu sìgá àti ẹni tó jẹ cola nut, the same thing, because
cola nut eater
tó wà nínú cola nut ó náà ló wà nínú sìgá.
The same chemical is in the two.
Now, Ndlea bá rí anybody pẹ̀lú cola nut.
If Ndlea should see anybody with cola nut, there's no how they will arrest them.
It is socially acceptable.
I want
you to take note. Tẹ́ bá rí àwọn tó ń jẹ OB. Ó máa tó ṣe ìkan tí wọ́n bá ti jẹ OB. Ara wọn máa ṣe bákan bákan.
You see those that are used to cola nut, if they don't take
your body has become dependent on it.
Ó túmọ̀ sí pé ara wa ó ti gbára lé.
Ó túmọ̀ sí pé tí ẹ bá rí ara yín ò lè.
Then if you don't eat it because your body is adapted to it, then
it is a drug, socially acceptable drug.
Ó jẹ́ oògùn eléyìí tí àyíká gbà láyè.
It also has health implications.
Àmọ́ ó jẹ́ ohun tó ń ṣara ní jàǹbá.
Because of time,
nítorí àkókò ẹ̀yẹ kà ṣe kíá.
Now, when we are talking about this,
tá bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn eléyìí.
What are the consequences that comes with the usage of drug?
Kí ni àwọn ohun tó máa mú wá nígbà tá a bá ń lo àwọn oògùn yìí?
I'm going to talk about it from 3 different perspectives.
Màá sọ ní ọ̀nà pele mẹ́ta.
Number 1 is the health implications.
Àkọ́kọ́, eléyìí tó ṣe ara ní jàǹbá pẹ̀lú.
Anybody tó bá ń ṣi oògùn olóró lò àbí tó ń lò.
When you use hard drugs or you misuse them.
It has 3 major consequences.
Ó ní
physical, psychological and social consequences.
Ó ní ohun mẹ́ta eléyìí tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ara. Ó ní ṣe ara ní ti ọpọlọ èrò rírò àti ní ti ẹ̀mí.
For the physical consequence.
Fún eléyìí tójú lè rí.
Tẹ́ bá ti rí pálí sìgá.
Once you see the sachet of cigarettes.
Wọ́n máa kọ́ síbẹ̀.
They write on it.
Smokers are God bless you. Smokers are liable to die young. What they are saying is,
Ohun tó sọ ni wípé
nǹkan tí o fẹ́ rà yìí o,
this thing you want to buy
ó lè pa ẹ́,
can kill you,
ó lè jẹ́ kí èèyàn kú láìtọ́jọ́.
can give you
Now, if you check
short life.
If you check the side,
Tẹ́ bá wo ẹ̀gbẹ́,
they said cigarettes contain over 70 substances known to cause cancer.
wípé kìíní ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan nínú tẹ́ bó lè fa kòkòrò jẹjẹrẹ lára.
I'm not making it up. When you see a cigarette, just check the side.
Wọ́n láwọn ò kàn ru eléyìí, tẹ́ bá ti rí sìgá
ẹ
ẹ wò ó.
cigar, what the person is saying is, mo fẹ́ ní àrùn jẹjẹrẹ.
If you see a smoker, the person is telling you that I want cancer in my life.
At least, tí number one ò bá cause it, out of the 70 chemicals, ìkan máa cause it.
That is nínú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tí ó wà nínú sìgá tó lè fa àìsàn jẹjẹrẹ tẹ́yẹ kan ò bá fà á, eléyìí tó kù lè fà á.
In the long term.
Níwájú.
So, when we are talking about physical consequences, we are talking, number one, we have damage to brain.
Tàbá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa wàhálà tí ó lè fà sínú ayé ènìyàn, wàhálà sínú ọpọlọ.
Damage to liver.
Sí ọkàn.
I know we have doctors here.
Àmọ̀pá láwọn dókítà láàrin wa níbí.
They can tell us about the cost of dialysis.
Wọ́n lè sọ ohun tó máa náyàn láti ṣe bí ara ẹ ṣe máa
for people that have kidney problem.
Fáwọn tó ní àrùn kidney.
And I can tell you it is not a joking matter.
Pé kò ń ṣe ohun tí wọ́n fi ń ṣeré.
Drug use causes damage to liver, damage to kidney, damage to lungs.
Oògùn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ló ń bàjẹ́ lára tá ò mọ̀.
Heart and lung diseases, high blood pressure and premature death.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru, ikú àìtọ́jọ́ àti oríṣiríṣi nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀.
Then when we talk about psychological consequences.
Tàbá sọ eléyìí tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìwà àti èrò wa.
The first one is nervous breakdown.
A ó rí i pé gbogbo ètò ayé wa gbogbo àkànkù ni.
Tẹ́ bá rí àwọn tí tó ti wà dependent on the drug.
If you see people that are addicted to drugs, if they are holding this mic, you see their hand shaking.
Thank you. That is giving me feedback.
Their hand will be shaking. If you ask them to give you their phone, their hands will be shaking.
Their cells are damaged.
Gbogbo ohun tó wà lára wọn ó ti bàjẹ́.
Another thing is hallucination.
Ẹ rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún wọn gbà mí, wọ́n á kàn máa ro nǹkan tí ò.
Tabari àwọn wèrè lórí títì.
If you see mad people on the road,
every time ni wèrè máa make a call.
You see mad people, they make calls every time. Hola. Yes. You'll be thinking that who is he talking to?
To us, because we are normal.
See how because we are just able.
We may think he's not seeing the person he's talking to.
A máa rò pé kò rí ẹni tó ń bá sọ̀rọ̀.
But nínú orí ẹ̀, ó
Àmọ́
láwọn tó ń
nínú
bá sọ̀rọ̀.
ọpọlọ, ó ti ronú jìnnà.
They begin to see things that does not exist.
Ohun tí ò sí, òun ni wọ́n máa ń rí imaginable things.
Hallucination.
They hallucinate.
Then we have depression.
Then a ní nǹkan tó yẹ pé ó máa ń pààyàn mọ́lẹ̀.
Anxiety.
Ìrú ọkàn.
Thank you. And nervous restlessness.
Ẹ sì rí pé wọ́n á kàn ṣáà kàn wà ṣáá.
When we talk about social consequences, we are talking about number one, loss of job.
Ẹlòmíì iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ á pàdánù rẹ̀.
Anybody tí ó bá ti ń take to drug over time kò ní interest nínú iṣẹ́ rẹ̀.
If you are addicted to drugs, you see that the job or work you do, you will not be interested again.
Or kó má lè perform to optimum capacity tí company yẹn require, so over time they will lay them off.
Ẹni yẹn dẹ̀ rèé ohun tó yẹ kó ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ rẹ̀
So
kò
loss
ní
of job is one
lọ́kùnrin
of the social consequences.
àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ ohun jàǹbá bẹ̀.
Deviant behaviour.
Wọ́n máa hùwà oríṣiríṣi.
Ọmọ tó yẹ pé nílé tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ on a normal day, báwo ni mọ́mí ẹ̀ kárọ̀mà? Ọkàn di pé ẹ wá mọ́mí ẹ bá lọ gbójú a máa fọ́jú.
You see a child that is used to drugs, you see them misbehaving irrationally.
In school, you see them in school.
You see them rí wọn nílé ìwé.
I lost in school recently.
We went to a school recently.
I don't want to mention the name of the
Mi
school.
ò fẹ́ dárúkọ ilé ìwé yẹn.
The principal told us when we are coming.
The principal said,
ẹ make sure pé ẹ wá pẹ̀lú ìbọn o.
when you are coming, please come with gun.
Ní Adó yìí ni o.
Here in Ado,
Ó ní àwọn ọmọ yẹn.
that those children,
Wọ́n sán lórí gan o.
they are so mad.
Ó ní nígbó láti máa lé wọn tá a bá fẹ́.
That we always go inside the bush to drive them out.
Ó ní wọ́n máa attack teacher.
That they do attack teachers.
Yorùbá ní ojúbọ̀rọ̀ ò ṣe.
Pé bọ́mọ lọ́wọ́ ìkùrọ̀.
Ojú lásán kọ́ náà fi ń ṣe yẹn.
It is not just mere normal sense.
Behavior.
Àwọn ìwà ìpàlẹ̀.
Another one that comes with social consequences is prostitution.
Tó tún wá pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ ní ìwà kàmáṣe wá nọ̀bì.
Accident.
Jàǹbá mọ́tò.
criminal activities.
Àwọn ìwà
You can
ìpáǹlé
mention as
ládùúgbò.
many
A lè
rape,
sọ
armed
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀.
robbery. During the last election, let me say this.
Nígbà election tó kọjá,
I was posted to the situation room at police headquarters
wọ́n gbé wọn lọ síbì kan láti
for
lọ
election monitoring.
ṣe àmójútó.
The soldier that was with us, the captain, he said when he was still in the northeast,
Wọ́n nígbà táwọn wà
fighting
ní
Boko Haram,
ibẹ̀ táwọn ń bá àwọn Boko
ó ní
Haram
kò
jà.
sí Boko Haram táwọn pa tẹ bá check rẹ̀ tẹ́ni bá drug la rẹ̀.
There is no Boko Haram they kill that you not see hard drugs with them.
Because bóyá tó máa ti lo tramadol.
When they use those hard drugs,
ìgbà iná tó máa gbé ìbọn pé ó
that's
yá
why you see them gingered
afẹ́lọ́
that
pààyàn.
want to go and kill people.
So criminal activities, drug and crime, they are like Siamese twins. Ìbejì tó join papọ̀.
You see, drugs and crime, they are just
They are
parallel.
inseparable.
Yes.
Thank you. That is one perspective. Health implications of drugs.
Ọ̀nà kan nìyẹn fún
Now, let me
ìlera.
talk about the law. What the law says.
Eléyìí tí òfin sọ nípa
Anybody tí NDLEA bá ti arrest,
once you are arrested by NDLEA,
whether for using drug,
bóyá ẹ lo oògùn olóró,
for dealing in drugs, you are selling drug,
bóyá ò ń ta oògùn olóró,
or you are cultivating it,
àbí ò ń mí,
àbí òun move ẹ láti ibìkan síbi
or you
kan.
move it from one place to the other.
That's for transport workers.
Fáwọn tó wá
Or
ọkọ̀,
anyone who is trafficking it.
or anybody that máa ń gbé káàkiri.
Tí a bá ti gbá ẹnìyẹn mú,
Once they arrest you
tá à ń ṣe investigation
and they
case,
do their investigation
a máa gbé
properly,
lọ sí court.
they will take the person to court.
Ó kéré jù ní court.
The least sentence.
Because in most cases you are guilty.
Ká má fọ̀rọ̀ gùn, ó ti jẹ̀bi.
Because
Torí ohun tó lè fi hàn pé ó jẹ̀bi wà.
7 years,
Ọdún méje,
15 years,
ọdún mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún,
25 years.
márùndínlọ́gbọ̀n.
It is not a funny matter.
Eléyìí ò ṣe nǹkan tá a fi ń
Now,
ṣeré.
that is one aspect.
Ìpele kan
Another
nìyẹn.
thing that the law permits NDLEA to do
Ohun
is,
tí òfin tún gba NDLEA láti ṣe ni wípé
and that is for our daddies and mommy who are landlords.
fún àwọn dáàdì wa àti mọ́mí wa tó jẹ́
Àbí
onílé,
fún àwọn daddy àti mommy tó ní shop tó fi rent.
and you have shops too, you rent them out.
The law permits NDLEA to
Oh.
seize all assets used in committing drug crime.
Òfin gba NDLEA láyè gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n bá ń lò tí wọ́n fi ń tà àbí tí wọ́n fi ń kójọ àbí tí wọ́n fi ń polówó rẹ̀ láti gbà á.
So tá a bá wá sí inú ilé kan, bí
If they come to a house,
a mọ̀ pé wọ́n ta drug in bàtà
and we know that they
arrest.
sell drugs here,
Tá a bá find out pé
if we find out that
ẹni tó nílé àti
the
àwọn
owner
tó
of
ń
the
ta,
house and those
wọ́n jọ
selling,
fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ni.
they are in
Òfin fún
collabo,
wa ní ààyè láti ti
the
ilé
law
yẹn
gave
àbí láti
them
wo.
that law to demolish or to seal that house.
Take it to any court.
Ẹ lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ kẹjọ́.
Tó bá yẹ pé mọ́tò ní NDLEA bá
If it is
wọ́n
a
fi
car
kó igbó
and
àwọn
they
fi kó any
saw
drug.
to move
If you
drugs,
come to our office, you will see 6 cars.
tẹ́ bá wá sí ọ́fíìsì wọn, ẹ rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọkọ̀ tí wọ́n ti gbà.
Iṣẹ́ tí a ti fi àárọ̀ ṣe.
The work we have used our early years to do,
Àní pàdánù ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ alẹ́
we will
lọ́rùn
not
Jésù.
lose them at our old age in Jesus' name.
That is one.
That ẹ̀kọ́kọ́ nìyẹn.
Now, I want to, when I implication of,
Wọ́n táwọn máa lọ sínú ìjọ, àwọn máa fẹ́ sọ ti ẹ̀mí eléyìí
because
tó ní
àwọn
ṣe.
èèyàn máa ń fi pé tá a bá lọ síjọ, a máa ń fi pé a máa ní kò dẹ̀ wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà ayé tiwa o.
And people always say when they go to church, that it is not in our own time like
Ayé yóò
that.
bàjẹ́ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà
That the
tiwa.
world is not that corrupt like this.
Ẹ yẹ kí n fún yín ní instance.
Let me give you an example.
Bible document èèyàn kan tó abuse drug.
Bible gave us an example of somebody that abused drugs.
Not even one.
Wọ́n ní kò ṣe ẹnìkan,
Èèyàn méjì.
wọ́n léèyàn méjì.
Noah.
Noah.
Genesis chapter 9 from verse 20 to 26.
Do you want them to read?
Well, necessary. If you can give us somebody, please. Okay, don't worry because of time. Genesis chapter. I will tell you the story.
Ọlọ́run á sọ ìtàn yìí fún wa.
Àwọn ọmọ Noah.
The children of Noah,
Bàbá wa.
our father,
Ẹ jẹ́ ká rọ lọ́tí yó.
let's make him drunk.
Sorry, that's story of Lot. Noah mu. The Bible says he took drinks from one of the fruit of the vineyard. Ó mu, ó yó, ó dẹ̀ sùn.
That Noah had drinks and he slept off.
Fruit of the vineyard.
I continue.
Now, he took it and slept. He got drunk and slept naked.
From the fruit, he drank
Ìgbà
it.
tí
ó dẹ̀ sùn.
ọmọ kan wọlé.
When one of his children came in,
Bàbá wa naked. Ó lọ sọ fún àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ̀.
and he went to tell the
Daddy
elder
wa
ones,
naked.
your father is naked.
Àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ mú aṣọ wọn fi cover.
And the brothers
But
came
ìgbà
to
tí bàbá
cover
jí,
their
kí
father.
ló
When the
ṣe
father
fọ́mọ ẹ̀?
woke up, what did he do?
Ó ṣépè fún.
He cursed that child.
Now, Is it the fault of the boy
ṣé ẹ̀bi ọmọ yìí ni
coming in to see his father naked?
torí bàbá rẹ̀ tó wà ní hòhò?
Now, because of that cause, Adama, àdúrà òbí àbí èpè òbí lórí ọmọ, it goes a long way.
wọ́n ní ègún yẹn, when a parent calls a child or bless a child, that thing goes far.
So ó gbé ọmọ ẹ̀ ṣe pé another one oní Lot,
The one for Lot.
Genesis chapter 19 verse 36. Àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wọ́n
children,
rọ́ Lot yó.
They make the man drunk.
Lot ṣe kìíní,
Lot did the first one.
ó lulẹ̀.
Gbẹ̀gbẹ̀.
Ó ṣe kejì,
Did the second one.
I'm very sure.
Alóye wa.
Tọ́pọ̀ àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ pé mẹ́ta rí bá ṣe
Supposing they
kẹta.
were 3, he will have attended the third
He
person.
impregnated his own daughters
Ó fáwọn ọmọ tiẹ̀ lóyún
because he was under the influence of
nítorí
substance.
pé ọtí wà nínú àgọ́ ara rẹ̀.
Ordinarily, with ordinary eyes, he wouldn't have done
Pẹ̀lú
that.
ojú lásán láìsí ọtí kò lè bá àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ sùn.
Now, you ask yourself,
Ẹ wá máa bèèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wa.
why are people using drugs?
Kí ni ìdí táwọn èèyàn fi ń lo oògùn?
Why do people use illegal drugs? If drugs have all these consequences,
Kí ló
why
dé
do
táwọn
those
èèyàn ń
use
lo oògùn olóró? Á ní àwọn àìdá
Number
ọ̀nà àbáyọ
one
yìí.
is access to the drug,
Àkọ́kọ́, ọ̀nà àbáyọ sí oògùn olóró
accessibility to drugs.
àti rí oògùn olóró.
Thank you. Maybe because of the environment you are living in,
Nítorí agbègbè tí à ń gbé,
all the kind of friends you are moving
àmọ́
with,
àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tá à ń bá rìn,
you have access to it. There is tendency that you use it.
ó ṣeé ṣe kí láti lò ó torí pé àti rí rọrùn.
Another reason is advertisement.
Bí wọ́n ṣe ń polówó rẹ̀.
Tabari mo ṣe ń polówó Star Lager beer.
If you see the way they will advertise Star Lager,
A máa fẹ́ mú.
you will want to taste it.
Wọ́n ní ever show ẹni tó ṣubú sí gọ́tà.
They will not show you the negative part
Àbí ẹni tó mu ọtí tó lọ kó sẹ́nu
or
mọ́tò.
the one that has an accident because he drank.
Wọ́n máa lọ wá àwọn actor tó handsome.
They will look at actors,
Àwọn
businessmen.
náà fi máa advertise.
They are the one they will use for an advert.
Another example is
Àpẹẹrẹ mìíràn.
another thing tó máa predispose àwọn èèyàn to drug use is
What makes people to take drugs again?
the kind of music they listen to.
Irú àwọn orin tí wọ́n máa ń gbọ́.
The kind of music they listen to.
Irú àwọn orin tí wọ́n ń gbọ́.
Thank God we have a lot of youth among us.
Aláwọn ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ láàrin wa.
Àdè láwọn mọ́mì tó já sí.
And we have mommies too that are in vogue.
Church Zazu.
You see,
Àti gbàgbé pé church gan-an.
we've forgotten that we are in church.
Unconsciously,
Pẹ̀lú pé a ò mọ̀ ọ́ mọ̀.
orin tá à ń gbọ́.
The songs we listen
Now,
to.
ẹ kí n béèrè, how many of us want to zẹ̀?
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún àmì ló fẹ́ zẹ̀.
When you grow up, do you wish to become like Portable?
Yes, sir.
He doesn't understand what you said. He doesn't understand what you said.
She wasn't with us. She wasn't with us. Now, when we go to secondary school, I always ask them,
Àwọn máa ń bèèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn bàtà wọn secondary school
"Kò
pé,
fẹ́ ká yẹ ẹ̀rí bí Portable?"
do you want your life to be like Portable's life?
Àwọn ní rárá, then
They will say no. Then what?
why are you listening to this?
Kí ló dé tó wá ń gbọ́ orin ẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ káyé dàbí ayé Portable?
Àbí orin ilé ti pẹ́ díẹ̀, àwọn mọ́mílẹ̀ máa hàn bọ̀ tẹ́ bá mọ̀ ẹ máa rí pásọ̀ ní sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ pa àlọ́ nǹkan kan kò sí ewé. Ẹ mọ content ẹ̀.
Do you know the song?
Ó ti po omi gọ́tà pọ̀.
Yes.
Science student. Ó popular.
That song is very popular.
The kind of song you listen to
Àwọn orin tá à ń tẹ́tí sí.
predisposes you to drug use.
Ó tún pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó tún ń ṣí wa sílẹ̀ láti lo àwọn oògùn olóró
This
yìí.
one is recent.
Eléyìí tẹ̀ tún jẹ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀.
Anidigbo and ṣàyò. Last, now everybody go. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé.
The content of the song is, I need Igbo and.
Ohun tó wà nínú orin yẹn ni pé mo nílò igbó
And ṣàyò.
àti láti mutí.
And he repeated it more than 10 times.
Ó dẹ̀ sọ bí ẹ̀mẹ́wàá.
I need Igbo and ṣàyò.
Mo ní igbó àti ṣáyó àtọtí.
Now, ẹ sọ fún mi.
Tell me.
The Bible says,
Bíbélì sọ wípé
guard your heart with all diligence.
pa ọkàn rẹ mọ́ pẹ̀lú gbogbo.
Out of it comes the issues of life.
Pé gbogbo eléyìí nínú ìwà wa nínú
The
ayé.
things you listen to
Ohun gbogbo tí à ń tẹ́tí tá à ń gbọ́.
influences the kind of things you do.
Ló máa sọ ohun tí a ó ṣe.
There is no how you listen to Anídìgbò and ṣáyó.
Kò sí bó ṣe máa gbọ́ pé mo fẹ́ mu gbó mo dẹ̀ nílò ọtí.
Kó má tó stage kan kí ara ẹ má sọ pé ó yá náà àfà.
Kó má trigger wọ kí wọ́n gan pé igbó dà àtọtí dà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká step up.
Now that's another reason. Another reason why people abuse drug is peer pressure.
Ẹgbàá ẹlòmíràn irú ẹgbẹ́ tá ń kó.
Now these ones affect the younger ones.
Eléyìí àwọn ọ̀dọ́.
Peer pressure, the kind of friends they are moving with.
Irú àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tá a kó.
Because you want to belong to the
ethnic guy. Pé o fẹ́ bá àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ẹ.
You want to flow. You want to.
Ìwọ náà fẹ́ sọ fún wọn o wà níbẹ̀ o mọ̀ bó ṣe ń lọ.
You are likely to take. Another one is lack of parental supervision.
Nígbà tí kò bá sí ọ̀fíntótó àwọn òbí láti mójútó àwọn ọmọ.
Ọmọ wálé.
Your child came home.
Ó kó syringe wọlé.
Came with different syringe.
Secondary school wa.
You are in secondary school.
Biology doctor.
When do you become a nurse or a doctor?
We don't ask questions.
Kì í béèrè.
And this, we've seen a lot of parents that have come to report their own daughters.
Their own children. Àwọn òbí tó wá fẹjọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn sùn láọ́fíìsì wa.
Ẹjọ́ ọ̀gá.
Sir, please. Come and arrest my child. He wants to spoil my life.
Another reason is to enhance performance.
Láti ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ láti ṣe dáradára.
Ó ní ìdí táwọn ẹlòmíì fi ń lo oògùn olóró. A ti arrest guy kan rí lọ́fíìsì wa. Àbá igbó tó pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Kí ló ń fi igbó ṣe? Ó ní ẹ̀gbọ́n bricklayer ni mí tí máa fẹ́ lọ sí site. Màá ní láti màá kọ́kọ́ gbéra mi débẹ̀ náà.
To site, he needs something to ginger action in his body so that he can walk. That thing will take me there so that I will be able to be more active and agile.
We've arrested them with tramadol.
Àti mú wọn pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi oògùn tí àgbègbè ò gbà. That if they don't use those tramadol drugs, they won't be able to walk for a longer hour.
Now, what it means is, normally tá bá ṣiṣẹ́ ó yẹ kó rẹ̀yàn.
Ohun tó túmọ̀ sí ni pé once you walk, one's supposed to be tired.
That is how the body protects itself.
Báyìí ni ara ṣe ń dáàbò bo ara rẹ̀. But once you use that illegal drugs.
Ó máa dájọ́ pé the cells máa lọ pa signal tó yẹ kó sọ pé yá lọ sinmi ó máa lọ pa.
Oògùn yẹn á wá lọ síbi tó yẹ kó ti rẹ̀ á mú á pa.
So ó máa ṣiṣẹ́.
You will now keep on walking until
kò ní rẹ̀.
You will not be tired.
So some people use drugs to enhance performance.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọ́n ń lo oògùn olóró láti fúnra wọn ní agbára.
Last on the list is economic hardship.
Ìgbà míì tá bá wo àyíká bí nǹkan ò ṣe rọrùn ó tún fà á.
Everybody mọ bí Nigeria ṣe rí right now.
All of us will know how the country is now.
Bóyá ẹni tó lose iṣẹ́.
The person that lost his job or her job.
Now to escape the realities of their situation.
Láti máa fíìlì nǹkan tí àyíká àti àyídà máa sọ.
Ó máa gbé ara ẹ̀ ń trábàyè.
A kàn lo oògùn tí kò fi ní ronú.
Now, our daddies are coming. I want you to please take note of it.
Dájú àti mọ́mí ẹjọ́ ẹ fi èsì lé.
Signs of drug use.
Àwọn àmì tẹ́ máa rí pé èèyàn ń lo oògùn.
That will help you to safeguard the future destiny of the children.
Eléyìí tí ó ràn wá lọ́wọ́ láti dáàbò bo ọjọ́ iwájú àti ògo.
At least ẹ máa sọ pé ọmọ yìí ẹ fà àwọn ọmọ ra kẹ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé.
Then once you see all these signs, you need to at least call your children and start questioning them.
Possession of the drug itself.
Láti rí oògùn yìí lọ́wọ́ wọn.
Tẹ́ bá ti rí oògùn ní ọwọ́ wọn.
Once you see it with them,
ó túmọ̀ sí pé
it means that
tí ó ń lò àbáwọn fúnra wọn tí ń lò.
They are already having a bad group or they are already using
possession of drug paraphernalia.
Or when you see them with those drugs.
Those things they use in taking those drugs.
Àwọn tí wọ́n ń lò láti máa lò.
Example is syringe.
Àkọ́kọ́ syringe eléyìí tàbí gun alábẹ́rẹ́. Risla.
Tán fi wé igbó.
Paper tí wọ́n fi wé igbó.
Lighter.
Lighter tá a fi ń tanná ńlé.
Àbí blender.
Tàbí blender tá a fi ń lọ nǹkan.
Wọ́n fi lọ igbó.
Okay.
Wọ́n máa fi blender. Now, ọmọ tó wà ní secondary school tí kò dá kitchen rẹ̀ ní.
A child in secondary school that doesn't have her own kitchen.
Tẹ check bag ẹ̀.
And you could check his or her bag.
Tẹ bá blender mi bẹ̀.
And you met a blender there.
Mọ́mí ẹ máa assume pé wọ́n ṣe home economics practical.
It is not home economics practical in school.
Igbó ló fi ń lọ.
They use that to grind igbo.
Or ó ń kó abẹ́rẹ́ kiri.
Or you see them with syringe.
Or you see, if you check the bags.
Or you check their bags.
Particles of drugs, example cannabis.
Tàbí ẹ rí àwọn ohun èrúnrún oògùn nínú báàgì wọn.
So all these things can mean that they are already been exposed to.
Eléyìí túmọ̀ sí wípé wọ́n ti ní ìrírí
Then
ẹnìkan tó ṣe pẹ̀lú oògùn.
identification with drug culture.
Then láti mọ àwọn oògùn kan.
Identification with drug culture.
Pé bí wọ́n ṣe ń lo àwọn oògùn yẹn.
Wọ́n súnmọ́ àwọn tí tó ń lo oògùn either in behaviour or in the kind of music they listen to.
Okay, they are very close to those that are using it, so they are used to their attitude and characters and environment.
Naira Marley, Igbolabi.
Okay, Naira Marley, Igbolabi.
Orin tó ń gbọ́ nìkan nìyẹn.
That is the only song he listens to.
Naira Marley, Portable,
Burna
Boy, àwọn orin tó ń gbọ́ nìyẹn.
That is the kind of songs they listen to.
It means there's something in that song that appeals to the
body. Ó túmọ̀ sí pé ó ní nǹkan nínú orin yẹn eléyìí tí ó ń fún wọn ní tó ń ru ọkàn wọn sókè.
All the kind of dressing.
Tàbí irú ìmúra tí wọ́n mú. Sag jeans.
Crazy
jeans.
Sag jeans. Then another one is unusual use of dark glasses.
Nígbà tẹ́ bá rí wọn tí wọ́n ń lo bàtí wọn ò fọ́ lójú tẹ́ bẹ́ gíláàsì dúdú ni wọ́n ń gbé sójú.
All the time. Tẹ́ bá rí wọn ní 8 p.m. lálẹ́.
Ẹ rí wọn láago 8 alẹ́. Ìgò dúdú ni.
10 p.m.
Aago 10 alẹ́ ìgò dúdú ni.
Ó lè túmọ̀ sí pé wọ́n
This means that
ojú wọn tó pọ́n.
Ojú tó ti rí nǹkan wọ́n fi ń bò ó wọ́n fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀.
Another one is increasing an unnecessary anger.
Ẹ bá rí i pé wọ́n kàn èdè máa bínú ìbínú rúru wọn ó pọ̀ sí.
Ọmọ tí ó wà kúlẹ́jẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀.
Ọmọ tó yẹ pé kò ń ṣe oníjàgídíjàgan tẹ́lẹ̀.
Tó wá di pé wá di.
And suddenly you just see that with just a mere thing.
It can mean that they are already using drugs.
Ó túmọ̀ sí wípé wọ́n ti ń lo oògùn.
Another one is being unusually withdrawn.
Ẹ rí i pé wọ́n kàn fara wọn sẹ́yìn láàrin ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn.
Ọmọ tí ó jáfáfá tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀.
Eléyìí jẹ́ pé ìrọ̀rùn ló fi ń báwọn ènìyàn ṣeré tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀.
Tó wá di all of a sudden.
Ó kàn di wípé.
Ṣọlá ò lọ school lẹ́ni.
Ara ẹnìkan ló mọ̀.
Mọ́mí mi lọ bí wọn kan.
Mommy, I don't feel like going to school.
O lọ bí tó sí kọ́ṣẹ́ ni.
What about where you are learning?
Ọ̀gá mi ẹ ti ń fuck up.
That my guy is misbehaving.
Okay, jẹ́ ká lọ sí tẹ̀lé mi lọ bí iṣẹ́ mú mi ẹ̀
Follow me. I want to rest at home.
Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní withdraw.
They start withdrawing.
It can mean that they are already using drugs.
Ó túmọ̀ sí wípé wọ́n ti ń lo oògùn.
We don't want you to see one of these things and begin to suspect the children.
Fẹ́ kẹ́ rí ìkan náà àwọn àmì kẹ́ wá rò pé bóyá ọmọ yìí ti mú nǹkan.
4 or 5 of these signs.
Àmọ́ tẹ́ bá rí bíi 5-6 ìwà
Before you
yìí.
draw the conclusion.
Kẹ́ tó máa sọ wípé.
Bí ó ti ń lo oògùn olóró.
Bóyá maybe they start using drugs or whatever.
Another thing is if you see students in school.
Tẹ́ bá rí àwọn ọmọ iléèwé níléèwé.
Or tẹ́ bá rí àwọn young people ní
Or these young youth in your neighborhood.
Tẹ́ bá rí pẹ̀lú Coke bottle.
If you see them with just all this plastic Coke bottle.
Ó ra Coke bottle.
You see them, they will buy bottled Coke.
8 a.m. lẹ́tì rí lọ́wọ́.
Aago 8 òwúrọ̀ ẹ ti rí bottled Coke lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀.
10 a.m. láàárọ̀.
Aago 10 òwúrọ̀.
Coke yóò ti jù díẹ̀ lọ.
The Coke is just, what they've taken there is just small.
Ó lè má jẹ́ ordinary Coke.
It may not be ordinary Coke they are taking.
I remember during my undergraduate.
Wọ́n rántí bàtà wà níléèwé.
Some of my classmates that time, tán bá wá sí class.
Àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nínú wọn bàtà wà níléèwé tán bá wá sí.
Wọ́n máa gbé Coke wá.
They will come with Coke. Friend, let me take little of your Coke. No, you cannot drink this Coke. You cannot take this kind of Coke. Ṣebí Coke ni. Forget.
But now I know better.
But báyìí nísìnyí mo mọ̀ dáradára.
All those things, please ask them questions.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ tẹ́ bá ti ríra àwọn ilé lọ́wọ́ wọn ẹ béèrè béèrè.
Tẹ́ bá rí tó ń gbé Coke pé ẹ pé wá.
If you see your child going around with bottled Coke.
Jẹ́ kí n mú lára ẹ̀.
Let me take little out of your bottled Coke.
So what can we do?
Kí ni ohun tí a lè ṣe?
What can we do to help the children and to safeguard our environment?
Kí ni ohun tí a lè ṣe láti ran àwọn ọmọ ìlọ́wọ́ àti láti dáàbò bo àyíká wa?
Number 1 is.
Àkọ́kọ́.
Say no to drugs.
Ẹ sọ pé rárá sí oògùn olóró.
Mommy, daddy, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ sọ no to drugs.
Mommy and daddy, let's say no to drugs.
Mi gbọ́ voice yín ma.
I'm not hearing you ma, sir.
Mi gbọ́ voice yín sir.
I'm not hearing you, sir, ma.
That is number 1.
Ohun àkọ́kọ́ nìyẹn.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká pinnu láyàrá.
Let's determine in our mind that.
Personally, màá sọ pé no to drugs.
Me, rárá, kò sí. I will not use.
Mi dẹ̀ ní jẹ́ kí àwọn tó wà lára mi kan lò.
And I will not allow anybody in my neighborhood or my surroundings to use it. And I will not sell.
Mi dẹ̀ ní gbìn.
And I will not plant.
Another one is say no to people who use drugs.
A sọ pé rárá fún àwọn tó ń lò ó.
Then stay away from places where they use drugs.
Ẹ yẹra fún síbi tí wọ́n ti ń lò àbí tí wọ́n ti ń tà á.
Especially the younger ones.
Pàápàá jùlọ àwọn ọ̀dọ́.
Then Another thing we are expecting from you
ohun tá a tún retí látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn òbí.
is report activities of drug dealings in your localities.
Ẹ wá sọ fún àwa Ndlea tẹ́ bá rí ibi tí bí àwọn kóra wọn jọ tí wọ́n mú ni àbí tí wọ́n ń tà àbí tí wọ́n ń tè sí.
Àwọn dáàdì àti mọ́mì àwọn àgbà wọn ní tí aráalé ẹni bá ń jẹ ọkùnrùn tí a bá caution ẹ̀ tó bá di òru wọ́n jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa sùn.
Yes.
If they are doing drugs in your locality.
Tí wọ́n bá ń ta oògùn olóró ní àdúgbò rẹ.
Tí ẹ bá tètè report on time.
And you don't report to the agency.
Ọjọ́ tí Ndlea bá wá sí.
The day the Ndlea will come to that neighborhood.
Ẹni tí ó rà.
Yeah.
Then another thing we're expecting from you is to
support
Ndlea in the fight by sponsoring some of our activities.
Ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ láti fi owó kẹ́ fi ràn wá lọ́wọ́ láti bá wa ṣe àwọn ohun tí à ń ṣe.
A máa ń ṣe radio program.
There is a radio program.
Now we have a radio program that's ongoing on broadcasting station of EKTV.
EKTV.
And the radio station. If you have the means, please support us.
Tẹ́ bá ní agbára ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kẹ́ bá wa fi owó ṣe.
Then if you are a stakeholder in your community, in a school or organization, invite us.
Tẹ́ bá jẹ́ ẹni tó ní agbára tó ní àṣẹ níbi tẹ́ wà ẹ pè wá.
Church has done this morning. They invited us to come and
just like what we have done here today.
So if you are the chairman of the landlord association,
your school,
chairman, you have a stake, please invite Ndlea. We will come.
Ẹ pè wá, a ó wá.
Then if you know places or you know someone that use drug.
Ọ̀tẹ̀ bá mọ ẹni tó ń lo oògùn olóró àbí ibi tí wọ́n ti ń lò ó.
Or talk to Ndlea to come and stop them.
Ẹ sọ fún wọn pé kí wọ́n dáwọ́ dúró.
What we are saying is, if you see something, say something.
Bí tẹ́ bá rí nǹkan, ẹ sọ nǹkan.
Now we have a slogan.
A ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí a máa ń sọ.
I'm rounding up. We will take your questions, as many questions as you have.
A máa gba ìbéèrè.
My guy is here.
When
we say no to drug.
Tàbá bí rárá sí oògùn olóró.
We say yes to life.
Ẹ sọ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni fún ìgbé ayé rọrùn.
When we say yes to life.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni fún ayé.
We say no to drug.
Bí rárá fún oògùn.
So church, no to drug.
Yes to life.
Yes to life.
No to drugs.
Now, if you can help me project this, John chapter 10 verse 10, while I'm rounding up.
John 10 verse 10.
Please, you can help us take it.
John 10:10.
I'm rounding up, please. Fast Bible reader. Thank you. I want everybody to say it. The Bible says the thieves come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Yes, ma'am. God bless you. But mommy, the next one. Thank you so much, man. God bless you. Now,
amen.
He said the thieves come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. The fastest way for anybody to destroy his or her future,
fún èèyàn láti bà ayé rẹ̀ àti ọjọ́ iwájú rẹ̀ jẹ́.
and which the devil is using.
Eléyìí tí èṣù ń lò.
Is drug.
Òun ni oògùn olóró.
Tí ogun lé ò bá rí ọwọ́ tọ́wọ́ bá bà, wọ́n máa ti sí drug.
If the welfare battle of your family could not catch you, they will push you to drugs.
Now, drug cases don't just die when you commit it.
Wàhálà àti ìdààmú oògùn olóró kò kí ń parun
lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Push you into what will destroy your future.
Má jẹ́ kí èṣù tiẹ̀ sí ohun tó máa bà ọjọ́ ọ̀la rẹ jẹ́.
So when we say no to drug, we say yes to life. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Pàtẹ́wọ́ dáadáa.
Ẹ ká pàtẹ́wọ́, let's a round of applause.
Questions.
Ìbéèrè.
And answers.
Àti ìdáhùn.
Ǹjẹ́ ẹnikẹ́ni wà níbí tó ní ìbéèrè kan? Okay. Any question? 1, 2, 3. Who else?
4.
Who else?
5.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Babakula 4. And okay, this man 5. The last person 6. 7. Okay. Where's the other microphone, please? Officer. Yeah, we have questions. Kini ìbéèrè sir.
My prophet, the representative from the Ndlea, every other protocol duly observed. First of all, apart from legal implication, social implication, and health hazard. I want to suggest more than 30% of drug abusers are youth and students. But I want to implore the government through the Ndlea, most especially the present representative, that what really promotes drug use abuse among the youth, especially the students, is off-campus hostel. All students should be accommodated into school campus where the school management will be able to monitor their activities on daily basis. As soon as they left home, they have become the custodian of those students. But leaving them to go and be living in a room self-contained, like 30 rooms self-contained in a place where there's no landlord, there's no controller, there's no agent, there's nobody. Everybody are just doing what they like, in which they cannot ordinarily do when they are at home. Every institution, like in the international best practice, every institution should accommodate all the students. One. Then two, the primary target of Ndlea is litigation and imprisonment. And it's very wrong in our society. You cannot go to prison and learn. You further go there to go and teach, to go and learn more. The character will further damage when they come back from prison. We all know. So the Ndlea should endeavor to open a rehabilitation center where medical personnel will be employed under the umbrella of Ndlea, and it will become a national rehabilitation center for drug abuse, rather than taking them to prison where their character will be further damaged. Then third, I work in the hospital. Most of the people who are patients of substance abuse in the hospital are those people who their parents can afford the medical bill. And out of about 20 or 30 victims of drug abuse, only 2 or 3 is that their parents can afford the medical bill. Then what happened to the rest? So the high cost of medical bill will not help in Nigeria to rehabilitate those youths who are engaging in drug abuse. Then we parents, we should do something in monitoring our children. Rightly, as the officer said, we have not done enough, especially those children who can raise little money to take care of themselves. They always believe they are out of control of their parents, and the parent we have will not be bold enough to question them. So I want that. Those are my suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, he talked about rehabilitation. In some of our offices in Nigeria, we do treatment and rehabilitation. It's just that the office we use for now in Ekiti, in Ado here, is not our own office. It's a rented space. So, but our own office it's in progress. We are building it. By the time we complete it, there'll be something like that for us in Ekiti.
Thank you. Now, number 2.
Permit me to stand on the established protocol. My first question is this. I went through a book. Ìwé yẹn dẹ̀ sọ pé èèyàn tó bá ti ń mu ọtí, tó bá ti ń clock bí 40 years, ó ní àwọn oògùn kan wà tó lè máa lò due to pé bladder. So tó bá ti ń lo oògùn yẹn, kíni yẹn máa clear bladder yẹn. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ advice wo lẹ lè fún èèyàn tó bá come across that book tó dẹ̀ ń lò.
Àwọn ò gbọ́ Yorùbá o.
Okay. I said that I read a book, and in that book, a doctor said if someone is taking alcohol, so at the age of 40, there is a drug was prescribed then that such persons should be using just to stop, maybe to prevent him from having a bladder or this disease.
Okay.
Yes. And my second question is, as in, what advice can you give to such person? And my second question is this. It's like I have someone throughout a day. That person can at least 10 packs of cigarettes is not enough for him.
10 pack.
Yes, but he's a medical doctor. After smoking, he took those drugs. I hope you understand. And you said smokers are liable to die young and to prevent cancer. So what advice can you give to such person? Thank you.
Okay. In the first question, you said the person has been taking alcohol. And then at the age of 40, a doctor told him that there's a particular medicine you take that will help handle the kidney or bladder disease or kidney diseases. Well, that's a medical doctor. I cannot delve into that, but it's even better the person seeks help, because it's like pouring water into a leaking bucket. As you're pouring the water, the bucket is leaking. That bucket will never fill. So he's taking he's taking medicine to treat a particular disease, and then he's doing something again to bring the disease. So I don't think that person is helping himself. What he needs is treatment. And then your second question.
About somebody who is a medical doctor.
Okay, smoker, yes.
Who smokes and yet
he's a medical doctor. That's the terrible thing about addiction. If you ask any drug addict, he will tell you something he wants to quit, but he cannot help himself. So the way I say it, you start from catching your phone, and then the phone starts catching you. By the time it gets to the stage the phone has started catching you, you can no longer help yourself. But as a medical doctor, he might not want to come and seek help. He will feel, how can me, a medical doctor, go through rehabilitation? He will think of the stigma and everything. But somebody like that, he needs help.
Thank you. Number 3. Okay, Mama.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Interpreter. Ìbéèrè mi ò pọ̀.
My question is not much.
Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa sìgá mímu.
They spoke about cigarettes.
Mo dẹ̀ rí wípé kì í ṣe wípé bóyá inú ilé wa la ti ń ṣe sìgá yẹn.
It is not as if we are manufacturing that cigarette by ourselves.
Kí ló dé tí àwọn ìjọba wa ń gbà láti wípé kán máa kó wọlé?
Why did our government allow them to bring cigarettes to our country?
Tí àwọn èèyàn wa dẹ̀ ń fi para wọn lára.
And our people are using it to endanger their own lives.
Torí wípé wọ́n sọ wípé rà á.
Because they said buy it.
Jẹ.
Eat it.
Kó dẹ̀ pa ẹ́.
And it will kill you.
Thank you. Do you get the question very clear?
Okay, that's a very good question. You see, even alcohol, let me say this. If you know the history of alcohol, there was a time alcohol was even illegal. Even in the Western world. Those days, they used to smuggle alcohol. But this thing called democracy gives you the right to talk. The citizens began to agitate, allow alcohol to be free for us. They allowed alcohol to be free for them. Alcohol is no longer illegal. The same thing with tobacco. That's why tobacco is free today. But what the government does to discourage even the manufacturing and the use of tobacco is to tax them heavily. That's what the government does to discourage people from smoking. Because if they tax the company, it is the final consumer that will bear the consequence. Yes. So, but once it has gotten to the stage of addiction, there's nothing anybody can. Even what they write there, smokers are liable to die young. Now, people are agitating for Igbo to be made free. Our office is still fighting against it. Funny enough. But if there's enough pressure, in some countries, Igbo is made free, freely available. It's not illegal. So when there's enough pressure on the government, you say you want this, okay, we give you this. That's why cigarette is so easily available now.
Explain in Yoruba, Shelley.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what the instructor just said is that
Yoruba.
ohun tí wọ́n sọ fún wa ni wípé ìjọba nípa àwọn tí ó ń gbé wọlé owó orí tí wọ́n ń gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn ló fà á nítorí pé tọ́ máa ní kọ́ máa gbé wọlé àmọ́ tọ́ bá ti gbé owó orí tó pọ̀ lé wọn lórí ọ̀nà àbáyọ tí ìjọba fi ń rí owó sí àpò láti tọ́jú ìlú nìyẹn tí ó bá yẹ ti ẹni sùúrù tí àwọn tó ń ṣe sìgá yìí tí wọ́n bá sì ti san àwọn tó ń jẹ tó ń mú gbogbo gbèsè yẹn orí wọn náà ni wọ́n padà dílé torí ẹ̀ ni àwọn nǹkan ṣe ń gbówó lórí irú àwọn nǹkan bíi sìgá yẹn tí ìjọba bá ti gbowó tó pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn táwọn náà bá ti sanwó orí tó pọ̀ owó sìgá náà yẹ kí ni á gbé pẹ́lí sókè so àwọn tó ń tà àbáwọn tó ń ṣe àwọn kọ́ ni wọ́n forí ko àwa tá a mú náà là ń forí ko then fún àwọn tí ó ń gbé sìgá wọlé tí wọ́n mú wọ orílẹ̀-èdè Tá bá wo ìlú mi, bí wọ́n ṣe nílùú mi nìyẹn. Ìlú wọn gbà láyè bí igbó báyìí, àwọn kan ti ń ṣe igbó tí wọ́n lè ti ń tà nílùú wọn tí wọ́n ti gbà láyè. But níbí àwọn NDLEA wọ́n ṣì ń bá wọn jà pé àwọn ò ní gbarú ẹ̀ kó má bàa yé àwọn ọmọ wa jẹ́. Ẹ ṣé.
Yeah, number 4 question. Yeah. Okay, Baba Akula, number 4. Yeah.
Thank you, the representative of the NDLEA. You said the other time that if we see anywhere or anybody that is taking these hard drugs, we should contact you. What I need is your contact number so that we can call you. In our neighborhood, there are a lot of Yahoo boys there. They took these hard drugs. At times, they may fall down on the main road. And they will call us to come and attend to these boys. But to get your number is difficult.
Thank you, sir.
You can give us the number.
Yeah, they will give out the office number so that should in case of any complaint.
So that people don't die at your backyard. What Baba said is meaningful. If any child should smoke what is illegal and die behind your house, if you are not careful, you are the one that will be in prison for what you know nothing about.
And number 5.
Mama to walk ready.
Okay, that's uncle there.
The uncle on gold.
My question is this. If my friend take drug and I have talked to him, you don't hear me, and I don't want my friend to go to jail, and I go to NDLEA to report, what are they going to do
to help him?
Help me.
Thank you. That's a good question.
That's a good question. Thank you very much. Now, I want us to understand this. There's a difference between drug dealing and drug abuse. Drug dealing and drug use. Now, it's a criminal offense to deal on drugs, like you said, planting, selling, transporting, using your house to store, aiding and abetting. Those ones are crimes. But when it comes to drug use, like he said, his friends, depending on the stage the person has gotten to, if the person is still starting, we can do counseling. In the course of counseling, we can help the person come out. But there's just one key. Is the person willing to be helped? If you're not willing, we cannot help you. You can keep somebody in treatment rehab in a treatment center for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. A typical example is a Rastafarian. There's nothing you can do to help a Rastafarian because they don't believe they don't believe ego is a problem. To them, it's a natural food God has given us. So if you keep that person for treatment for 5 years, you're wasting your time, your resources, and the person's destiny also. So until the person believes that he has a problem, that's when we can help the person.
Until one son, ọ̀tọ̀ ní pé èèyàn ń tagbó, ọ̀tọ̀ ní pé èèyàn ń mugbó, ọ̀tọ̀ ní pé òun ran àwọn tó ń tagbó tó ń mugbó ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́, ọ̀tọ̀ ní pé wọ́n fi ilé ẹ̀ àbò ohun tó ní, wọ́n fi ń kó igbó síbì kan. Now, bí ìbéèrè tí ọ̀gá yẹn béèrè ń sìn yìí, wípé òun lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ tóun dẹ́gbà níyànjú pé kó fi bọ́ bàmọ́ kó fi gbó sílẹ̀. Ọ̀gá yìí wá ń dára lóhùn pé téèyàn ò bá tí ì pinnu pé òun ò fẹ́ mugbó mọ́, kò sí ìrànlọ́wọ́ téèyàn lè ṣe fún un. Àfi tó bá ti pinnu nínú ọkàn rẹ̀ pé igbó mímu o mi ò fẹ́ mú mọ́, ìgbà yẹn nìkan ni ìrànlọ́wọ́ lè wá tẹni á dẹ̀ fi gbólẹ̀ pẹ̀lú orí ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run.
Thank you. Last person ẹnìyẹn wà lẹ́yìn kì í ṣe ẹ̀yin dádì àti mú nọ́mbà kọjá. Last person ẹnìyẹn náwó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó yẹ bá ń fún mic.
Hello sir. Ẹ káàárọ̀ sir.
Ẹ káàárọ̀.
Ìbéèrè mi àkọ́kọ́ ni pé mọ́mì ẹ ti béèrè ṣùgbọ́n èkejì ni pé ọ̀nà àbáyọ wo ló wà fún wa tó yẹ pé àwa àbí alábàágbọ́ wa tó yẹ pé ó mu igbó yẹn tẹ̀wọ́n á ta wọn lólobó pé ló ọ́fíìsà o ọ wá dìgbà tí wọ́n wá gbé ẹnìyẹn tán tí gbogbo ẹ̀ parí tán àwọn ọ̀gá yẹn gangan náà ló tún máa sọ fún ẹgbẹ́ alábàágbé ẹ̀ báyìí náà ni tí wọ́n máa fi ṣalátakò fún wa kí ló dé tó máa ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
Sir, the question is asking now is this. What is the way out for those that brought reports or a case to your office and you now went and arrest that person or pick that person, then after rehabilitating that person, your office will still tell the person that Mr. Lagbaja was the one that informed us about.
Let me hear your story. No, let me hear your story.